Zipaquirá is a municipality and city of Colombia in the department of Cundinamarca. Its neighboring municipalities are Tausa and Cogua to the north, Nemocón, Gachancipá and Sopó to the east, Cajicá and Tabio to the south, and Subachoque and Pacho to the west. Its seat of municipal government is 49 kilometers from Santa Fe de Bogotá. It is part of the Greater Bogotá Metropolitan Area and is the capital of the province. It is also the headquarters of the diocese of the same name, and that includes much of the department of Cundinamarca, extending to the center of Bogotá, the region of Rio Negro, the Abate Valley, and the region of Guavio. The town is primarily known for its salt cathedral, an underground church built inside a salt mine in a tunnel made as a result of the excavation of the Salinas. Zipaquirá has an original architecture, and the old city center is a tourist attraction. Its main square is surrounded by old buildings in the Spanish colonial style. This small city can be reached by train from Bogotá. Etymology. In Chibcha, the language of the Muisca, who inhabited the Altiplano Cundiboyacense before the Spanish conquest, the name means the land of the Zipa. Zipa was the ruler of this territory. Another origin is City of Our Father. History. Pre-conquest era. In the Abra Valley between Zipaquirá and Gachancipá were found some of the most ancient human remains of South America. The lithic strata reveal animal bones and carbon fragments, analyzed with carbon-14 dating to be around 12,400 years old. There are two possible origins of its name. One of them is taken from the indigenous people who inhabited the foot of the Zipa mountain range, Chiquiquisha, which means our large wall, or according to other sources, City of Our Father, and until the 19th century the name was written beginning with the letter C. The other possibility refers to the name Zipa, a title conferred to the governor of the village and to his wife, the latter known by the title of Quira, and thus Zipaquirá. The native people who lived there settled in the upper part of the mine called Pueblo Viejo, now known as Santiago Perez, approximately 200 meters above the present site of the city, and where early Spanish descriptions speak of seeing a few hundred dwellings with a population of 12,000 people. These lands were part of the domain of the Zipa of Bogotá, the leader of the southern part of the Muisca people. This area of the Bogotá plain had at that time a series of small lakes and canyons which made possible the transportation of its inhabitants by canoe, by means of which the inhabitants of Nemocón, Gachancipá, and Gachancipá reached Chiquiquisha in order to seek supplies of salt which they traded for pottery and tiles. Salt was also traded with peoples throughout the Andean region of Colombia, including the Panchi and Pantagara in the present department of Tolima, and the Muso of the present-day department of Boyacá. Colonial era. On July 18, 1600, Don Luis Henriquez established a settlement on the site with workers and the families, and named it the village of Zipaquirá. On August 2, 1600, Henriquez contracted Wanda Robles to construct the church of Zipaquirá, which was later reconstructed by Pedro de Tovar y Buendia, when the parish priest was Fernando de Buenaventura y Castillo. In 1605 the area was named the Corregimiento de Zipaquirá and removed to its original location. This was done due to the limited area available on the originally occupied plain, as well as to the fact that the Spanish forces ordered that no Spanish Negroes, mestizos and mulattoes were permitted to live in native villages, even if they had purchased land therein. In 1623, the Spanish Spanish official Don Francisco de Sosa named as wards the 321 native inhabitants in the Old Town, according to the declaration of Alfredo Tinoco. On October 5, 1638, Gabriel de Carvajal became the guardian of 771 natives in the region and 125 in Tibito. In 1778, by order of the Viceroy Manuel Antonio Flores, the natives who lived in Zipaquirá were transported to Nemocón in order to prevent constant rebellions of previous owners of the salt deposits. August 3, 1779, Zipaquirá saw the creation of the Holy Trinity and San Antonio de Padua parish. In 1852, Zipaquirá changed its status and became the autonomous province of Zipaquirá. During the Spanish Reconquest, on August 3, 1816, the so-called Zipaquirá martyrs were executed on the city square. Republican era. With the Constitution of Cundinamarca of 1815, the city became the capital of the province of the same name. On July 10, 1863, it was designated the capital of the sovereign state of Cundinamarca, although subsequently it was named Funza by decree of President Morales. Law No. 46 of April 29, 1905 created the Department of Quesada, the capital of which was Zipaquirá, which remained so until 1910. Geography and description. Zipaquirá is located 48 kilometers north of Bogotá, linked by road and by train. The most famous of its salt mines has been exploited since pre-Columbian times by the Muisca, in which is located the famous salt cathedral. González Foro Square is the epicenter of the city, surrounded by beautiful buildings that have conserved the colonial style, and are considered to be national monuments. The square contains a cathedral constructed between 1760 and 1870, with its stone facade, as well as the City Hall and the Salinas Administration Building, with their green Republican-style roofs. The city has undergone recent changes, having transformed streets in the center to pedestrian walkways, and limiting vehicle traffic in the area in an attempt at preservation and conservation, and lending a more cordial aspect for tourists. As part of this strategy, the city has also carried out a project of restructuring the Sabana station, and next to it the construction of Parque La Esperanza. Currently, the Bogotá-Chía-Cajicá-Zipaquirá highway is being completed, making possible more rapid and safer access to the city. Since the Cajicá-Zipaquirá segment was one of the most accident-prone roads in the country, Zipaquirá offers the visitor typical restaurants, colonial houses that are almost 300 years old, tourist agencies, recreation centers such as Panacasabana, museums, crafts, and an interesting retail infrastructure. Agriculture is also important in the municipality, especially dairy farming. Industry in the region is closely associated with the production, processing, and refining of salt. The estimated population is 100,000 inhabitants. Among the most famous events of the area are the majestic Holy Week processions, organized for the last 54 years by the Nazarene of Zipaquirá congregation, with processions throughout the week with beautiful Spanish religious relics that attract both local residents and visitors. Tourists actively participate during Good Friday when the procession of the Path of the Cross journeys up to the Plazoleta del Minero to the entrance of the Salt Cathedral. Climate. Nightlife. Zipaquirá is also famous for its nightlife in different kinds of bars and clubs. Born in Zipaquirá, German Castro Quezado, journalist and writer. Efrain Foro, cyclist, winner of the Tour de Colombia. Santiago Pérez, President of Colombia from 1874 to 1876. Gustavo Petro Arregard, guerrilla member of M19, former congressman and senator and mayor of Bogotá. Gallery. Bibliography. Espejo Maria Bernarda. Notas sobre toponimia en algunas coplas colombianas. Tomo Liv. Num. 3. pp. 1102-1157. CS1 maint. Multiple names. Authors list. Groot, Ana Maria. 2014. Sal y Poder en el Altiplano de Bogotá, 1537-1641-174. Universidad Nacional de Colombia.